My name is Madison and I am a senior geoscience student at the University of Iowa. I've been working with Dr. Ingrid Uxens on the internal processes of the Auckland volcanic field for a couple years now. So my research mainly deals with the complex magma storage at the AVF through analytical geochemistry. So a little bit of background on the Auckland volcanic field. This might be something that you've already heard in previous talks, but just a recap. The Auckland volcanic field is considered to be a monogenetic volcano. So these are volcanoes that erupt directly from the mantle source and do so in small batches of magma. And they are also spatially and temporally unpredictable in that they will erupt in a different vent with each eruption, which makes it important to study considering the vast population of the city of Auckland. This volcano is also still thought of as an active volcanic region because its most recent eruption was approximately 550 years ago, and that was the Ringetoto volcano. So my research focuses on the Pupuke Mar, so that's Lake Pupuke, and that is on the northern side of the field. It is also one of the oldest volcanoes in the region and dates back to approximately 192,000 years old. So the samples that we took from the Pupuke Mar contain olivine crystals that are coarse grained and measure up to approximately 15 millimeters. And what's significant about these crystals is that they undergo a magnesium-iron exchange dependent on temperature pressure conditions. So they can be used to determine the residence times that these crystals spend in magma at different depths. So this compositional variation can tell us a lot about the history of that crystal during eruption. So doing this analyses on multiple crystals can give us a better idea of what's happening within the plumbing of the volcano. So to analyze the elemental diffusion that's occurring in these olivine crystals, we use the electron microprobe. We were mainly interested in the main components of olivine, so we analyzed for magnesium, iron, nickel, silicate, and chromium. In addition to the elemental composition of these crystals, we were also able to take backscatter images, which you see to the right. These give some really good information just from a glance about the composition of the crystal based off of the grayscale color change that's occurring gradationally from the rim to the core. This grayscale color change reveals the transition between the atomically heavier iron to the atomically lighter magnesium. So we can use these grayscale images as a way to track magnesium and iron exchange during ascension, and it's actually a faster way to analyze that exchange comparative to EMP analyses. So when we are looking at grayscale values from BSE images, we track the grayscale color change in image J and plot it in a graph, and we compare it to our EMP analyses, and that's showed through these graphs here. So we can see that the top graph is the EMP analyses when we're mainly focusing on magnesium, which is that red line. So it shows a steep slope in the beginning that evens out and but then steepens again at the end. So this is representative of one of the more complex diffusion profiles that reveal a stagnation in the lithosphere before eruption, which is contradictory to what we know about monogenetic volcanoes. And you can see too that the grayscale analyses, one of the image J line scans, mirrors what we're seeing in the EMP diffusion profiles. So this is showing that grayscale analyses is a really good way to track that magnesium and iron exchange, but also in doing these analyses, we are collecting evidence that there's a lot of diffusion profiles that show that the processes of monogenic volcanoes are more complicated than their definition suggests. And I just want to close up by acknowledging some of the people who have been instrumental in this research. such as Ingrid Uxtons, Victoria Cassidy, also Marco Brenna at the University of Otago, and Shane Cronin at the University of Auckland. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.